For now, though, the New York City mayor has declared a state of emergency after flash flooding hit the city during rush hour. Officials have warned 8 inches of rain could fall on the city by the end of the day. Streets and subway stations have been flooded across the city. Mayor Eric Adams urged residents to avoid all non-essential travel.
If you are home, stay home. If you are at work or school, shelter in place for now. Some of our subways are flooded, and it's extremely difficult to move around the city. Many of our area airports are experiencing delays.
So that's the warning there from the mayor. And joining me live now is Ayan Chowdhury, a New Yorker who got caught up in this deluge while trying to get to an appointment. And Ayan, I want to start off actually by showing our viewers some footage that you recorded on your commute. I mean, that's extraordinary. Look at that. I understand this was on the subway while you were trying to get an appointment?
Yes, my girlfriend and I were trying to get to Brooklyn for an appointment, and we come out of the subway and see that there's literally water coming out of the walls. So that's not something you see every day. So that was quite the experience.
No, it really is incredible. I mean, did you still get on the trains?
I did. I actually live in Manhattan, so I took the Q train down to Brooklyn and managed to get there. But once we arrived at Brooklyn, we got out and saw that the subway station itself was flooded. But surprisingly, the train still came. Our appointment got canceled because of the flooding. So we went back and got back on the train and went back home. So there were some delays, but it's surprising that even when there's water coming out of the walls, the trains were still running, at least at 9 a.m.
Well, I'd say you're a braver soul than some. But I mean, how unusual is this? Have you experienced anything like this before?
I personally not on the subway, but I think last year there was flash flooding. My car got flooded. New York, I think in the last few years, I've definitely seen a lot of flooding. But for me, this was a first-time experience.
And how are you sort of coping with the disruptions that this is causing? Because looking at the footage of some of the flooding, it looks like it's causing quite a bit of chaos. Yeah,
honestly, I was caught off guard because in the morning, I just saw the prediction of rain. I didn't really think too much of it. But, you know, I was born and raised in Bangladesh, and we see a lot of flooding there. But moving to New York and seeing subway stations flooding is quite different from my experience.
Oh, that's interesting. So you're saying you're from Bangladesh, so you're used to seeing this flooding. But it must take on a completely different character in a city like New York.
Yeah, absolutely. When you think on a Friday you're going to get some work done, it's going to be a normal day with some rain, but then all of a sudden you see water everywhere. Even outside the subway station, the roads were definitely flooded.
So what are New Yorkers saying about weather events like this? Are they increasing, and why do people think they're happening?
I personally think they are increasing, and people are concerned, obviously. A lot more flooding you see with the flash floods. We haven't gotten a lot of snow in the last couple of years, but I think there's definitely been a lot of changing weather patterns, and I'm not really sure how people are coping because the infrastructure is so old. We don't know if anything's being done to change anything.
That doesn't help. Ayan, thanks for sharing your experience. Glad you got home okay. Ayan Chowdhury joining us there from Manhattan. You're watching The Context. This is BBC News. I'm Nancy Kachingira. Much more to come in the next hour. Don't go away.